You know, it's one of my favorite topics that a lot of people are always longing for summer and longing for the light. And I love summer and I love the light, but there's something so magical and mysterious about the darkness.
Welcome to the Stories Cafe podcast, the espresso version of Stories Cafe, offering quick, enriching moments of reflection on literature, cinema, archetypes, philosophy, and the art of living deliberately. Just like a perfectly crafted espresso at a Parisian cafe, each episode is a brief pause for you to submerge yourself in something invigorating and fulfilling. I'm Annette Wernblad, course creator, internationally published author, and wanderer at heart. So cozy up as we explore the powerful world of stories, how they shape our lives, and teach us the art of living deliberately.
So we're going to start actually with Samhain, which is one of the oldest traditions that we have in the Western world. It goes back at least 2,000 years, the celebration of Samhain in Scotland and Ireland. Again, those two places that I talked about before. And it's the old Celtic celebration, which is very similar to what we now call Halloween, and it takes place at exactly the same time as Halloween, namely on the evening of October 31st and during the day of November 1st. And the tradition with Samhain is that the saying goes that on that day, that evening, that night, the veil between the living and the dead is the thinnest that it is all year. And it is, of course, a celebration, just as we talked about at our special autumn equinox talk. It is a sort of a similar idea that we're celebrating harvest and we're celebrating the magic of the darkness. You know, it's one of my favorite topics that a lot of people are always longing for summer and longing for the light. And I love summer and I love the light, but there's something so magical and mysterious about the darkness. So Samhain is also a celebration of entering that season of darkness. So this is sort of the final going into the dark season, the season of rest, but also the season of darkness and mystery. And I think it is a very interesting idea that we have the living and we have the dead. And in the modern world, we of course operate with the dead as something that is dead and gone and no longer living in any way, shape, or form. But in that tradition of Samhain, the idea is that, that the dead are sort of animate. Is that the right way of expressing it? And so if the veil between those two worlds is really thin, and some even say that the veil disappears completely, that means that people can go in and out of that, the realm of the living and the realm of the dead. And to me, that is deeply archetypal and deeply mythological material right there. So that's the basic basis of Samhain and the basis of the magic of that day that we're sort of fast approaching. And then what happened is that in the 8th century, Pope Gregory decided to transform that ancient non-Christian, very much non-Christian holiday into a Christian celebration honoring the saints. That's why nowadays we often call it All Saints Day, which is the day after Halloween. And Halloween is Hallow evening. So, and Hallow refers to the saints as well. So the celebration in the modern world is a celebration of the saints, which is, I think, quite different from the pagan celebration of the dead. I think to me it is sort of important to distinguish between the original pagan celebration of the dead and the more modern version called Halloween. Of course, nowadays it's completely commercialized, mainly that, in Denmark we have not really celebrated this until the last maybe 10 years or so. And so kids are running around trick or treating, and they don't even have a Danish word for it in Denmark. I don't know where the rest of you are if you celebrate Halloween, but it always seems so strange to me to celebrate something, whether for adults or children, without knowing so what is the deepest reason why we're doing it. It's not just about spooky things and dressing up. It's about imagining that veil between the living and the dead as something that's thin or even disappeared. And that, apart from being deeply mythological, is of course also a deeply Gothic way of looking at things.
Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your espresso break and learned something new. If you're eager to dive deeper into the world of stories and ideas, be sure to hit the follow button in Spotify or the plus button in Apple Podcasts so that you get each new episode straight to your podcast app. You can also visit us at Stories Cafe. Just go to stories-cafe.com. There you can explore free content for a taste of what we offer, or if you're ready for more, a paid membership unlocks in-depth discussions, full access to our archives, and a vibrant community of fellow story enthusiasts. I am so thrilled to have you here, and I look forward to welcoming you back to the Stories Cafe soon.